Thank you so much for joining us. I am very happy.
If you've been on this channel, right? Because if you've been on this channel for any amount of time, like let's be real, you only need to be on this channel for about a week, right? In order to know that I'm a massive, massive simp for Sylvanas, and for good reason. This chick is hot as fuck. If there were real life chicks as hot as this chick, you would be simping for them as well. Let's just be real. I don't give a fuck what you say. You would. She is just crazy hot. And she gets just hotter in this spoiler, right? 100%. Yeah, you need like 5 minutes to realize, oh my god, this guy's a simp for Sylvanas. And I say that proudly. I simp for no one else, but for Sylvanas, fucking 100%. Alright, so there is a couple of very interesting things that we need to talk about in this cinematic. Things that I think sort of prove what we've been talking about for a very long time. It does sort of lay out what we've been talking about. And what's actually very interesting to me is in a different interview with Steve Denuser, I believe this was like a month ago or something. Alex, when did we do the video about Steve Denuser talking about everything we'll learn? Oh my god, was this a month ago? No, it's actually longer. It's like 3 months ago, I think. This was at the beginning of the Shadowlands beta almost, that I got into it. Steve Denuser said that we'll eventually learn what Sylvanas' plans are, right? What Sylvanas wants to do and what her end goals are. Now, the problem is that they didn't even give us to the end of the Shadowlands. We didn't even have to wait that fucking long. Because if you just pay attention to the story trailer, she says it. She legitimately tells us what she wants to do and why she wants to do it. But just listen.
Nothing is fair. Not life. Not death.
I think, by the way, this is very specifically done. The fact that they showed this particular image was very much on purpose. The way you know that this was on purpose is if you read Before the Storm. In Before the Storm, Sylvanas looks back, right? Sylvanas looks back at the at Varian as he's sort of dying, right? And she feels actual sadness. She feels actual sadness for what is going on there. So I do believe that this was done very much on purpose. Listen to her voice here.
Not life.
Not life, not death. Right? She is 100%. Blizzard is showing us something here. And by the way, Steve Denuser says it in this interview. In this interview, they ask him about their cinematics. And Steve Denuser says, we are well aware that the community picks these cinematics apart. So nothing in these cinematics are included if they do not mean something. Every scene, every color scheme, everything in these cinematics means something. So they show this to show, I believe, why Sylvanas is doing what she's doing. I believe that Varian may have been one of the final straws for her. When Varian died and she could do nothing, and she realized that all of this was because of the higher-ups wanting power, that's when she said, enough. Enough of this bullshit of being controlled by the gods of the universe. We will control ourselves.
Death. But through the jailer, control of our fate will at last be possible.
She looks happier. She looks legitimately happy. First of all, she looks fucking stunning. Death suits the Dark Lady, let's be real. The Maw really is just it's working with her, right? She through the jailer, control of our fate will at last be possible. Now, I know a lot of people hate when I say I told you so, but I have made exactly 2 videos. 2 videos that I believe both of them were over 40 minutes long, where I explained what Sylvanas is doing, where I showed evidence from the various cinematics where Sylvanas is saying why she's doing what she's doing, and people said, bro, fuck you, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Confirmed. Fucking confirmed. Through the jailer, control of our fates will at last be possible. That's all she wants. She has had enough of being controlled by the higher-ups. Very interesting, of course, is the fact that that scar still hasn't healed. That scar seems to be almost permanent. But if you permit me, I just need to go back a little bit.
Life, not death. But through the jailer, control of our fate will at last be possible.
I believe that she is talking to Anduin. Remember, when you go to the mall, when you first start questing there, when you go to save Anduin, there is a moment where Sylvanas is with Anduin and you sort of hide and wait for her to leave, but we haven't seen that cinematic yet. I believe this comes from that cinematic. She is talking to Anduin. She is trying to explain to Anduin what exactly is going on here, right? Next up, of course, we have this just insane scene that they've portrayed here, which of course gives a lot of Thanos vibes to it, which again I believe is on purpose. This is not by accident. Remember I told you guys in this fucking interview, Steve Denuser confirms that everything they do in these cinematics matter. It means something. What did Thanos want to do? Now, we could all agree that Thanos was a bit of a fucking nutcase, but the reason Thanos did what he did was necessary. Now, there's something that I've been speculating on that I don't yet know if it's true, and you guys can sort of tell me what you think of this. I'm not going to give you the full speculation theory because I don't really have all of it fleshed out, but I will say this. I believe that the jailer himself ripped out whatever was inside his chest. His soul, his heart, whatever it is, I believe he ripped it out himself, and I believe Anduin, or Arthas, cutting out his own heart is in reference to that. So whatever is inside of him that led to him being controlled, that allowed for the purpose to control him, he ripped it out of him so that the purpose could not control him anymore. That's my thinking on it. But now we get to the really important part. Remember, this guy is slated to be the ultimate evil, right? He's like the guy that we should all be fucking scared of. No one should like this guy at all, right? Listen to his voice and tell me why.
To hide.
Someone mentioned that he says, pitiful mortal, there is nowhere to hide. And someone said that clearly shows that he is evil. The problem with that argument is, as we discussed in the beginning of the stream, of course we are pitiful mortals. We don't matter to him. He is on a scale so much bigger than the rest of us. All he's saying is, try as you might, there's no stopping me. You can't hide from what I'm about to do. But he does not epitomize. I see some people in chat, Chaos Lance, for example, and Jeremy. Is this an evil voice for you guys? Or am I just immune to evil? Because I don't... This is not evil to me.
There is nowhere to hide. Death comes for you all.
Our duty is...
I just want to say, I find her more fucking evil than him. I find her more evil than him.
Our duty is grim.
I find that Winter Queen bitch far more evil than I find the fucking the jailer. The jailer does not sound evil to me. Powerful, yes. Evil, not so much.
Is this the best you can do?
Many have been lost.
Remember this lesson. You know what must be done.
Now the question is, you know what must be done, and showing Thrall right after it. Is Blizzard trying to show us that he was talking to Thrall? Is this something? Because remember, Thrall tells us that he was the jailer, sort of, shall we say, they were tasting. He was tasting them. So it wasn't so much that he was torturing them, it felt more like he was tasting them. Is this something that the jailer told him? It does appear as if Thrall is reacting to something. The problem is, reacting to what? Reacting to why? And what's going to happen to Thrall throughout all of this? Why is he tasting them? I believe he's tasting them because of what Sylvanas says at the beginning here. They need an army worthy to take on the first ones.
We're going to tear it.
Of course, that's the cinematic I want to see so fucking desperately. The one where Tyrande kills Thanos. I genuinely can't wait to fucking see that. Of course, there's a lot that we have to talk about when it comes to Tyrande as well, just FYI. To anyone that might be wondering. Tyrande is missing. She's the only one that we can't find, right? We don't know where she is. We don't know what she's doing. She's just fucking gone. And we know that she's got some, shall we say, yeah, we do get kill stealed by an NPC. Another fucking kill stolen by an NPC, arriving just at the right time to ensure that we are not the ones that kill them. But anyways, all these NPCs, they work so hard to save Azeroth. You know, I feel bad for them. But anyways, us being the slaves of Azeroth aside, Tyrande's anger keeps growing. We know that Morphurion is trying everything in his power to save her. This is a story that I think is going to come to the fore as well. And if anything, the war that Sylvanas and the Jailer is currently fighting, Tyrande may be the only person that is directly poised against it. Because if I'm correct, that war that Sylvanas and the Jailer is fighting is against people like Yulun. It's against the first ones. So Tyrande may actually be the only one standing between them at this point.
To tear it all down.
The light is with me, even here.
Sylvanas actually states here. Just listen to the voices here.
We're going to tear it all down.
We are going to tear it all down. I said this from the beginning. Sylvanas saying that this world is a prison, right? Her saying that this world is a prison. We've shown it now. How many times have we shown this now? Where we've gone through the motions. We've explained the story. Chat, you and I have had this conversation a million times before. You guys say this yourselves. Something isn't quite right. And what is even more interesting about this is if you go through Steve Denuzer's interview, which we will of course fucking do, right? Steve asks the question in this interview, did the Shadowlands function correctly before the Arbiter broke? I don't think it did. And I think that is exactly what they're turning against here. That is exactly what Sylvanas and the Jailer is trying to turn against. It's them saying, enough of this, we no longer want this. Now, this raises a bunch of rather scary questions. And questions that I cannot fucking answer because I genuinely do not know. But what did the Jailer do to betray his brothers in the first place? If his only goal is to destroy the system so that we can be in control of our own fates, why is that considered such a big evil? Why is that something that is considered bad? I don't know.
The light is with me, even here.
Very interesting way to end it. The light is with me, even here. and listen to what the jailer says.
Nothing escapes the maw.
Nothing escapes the maw. I wonder if Blizzard may be giving us a little bit of a vision of what might lie inside Torghast. Remember, we've discussed this before. An ultimate evil, perhaps a prime evil, lays at the very center of the maw. Could Blizzard be using this as sort of, what's the English word for it? Foreshadowing of what might come. So light doesn't escape the maw. It seems like nothing can escape. Once you are inside the maw, you are there for eternity. Getting out of it is near impossible. It's impossible. Cannot happen. Nothing escapes the maw. What if the jailer is trying to lure all the other cosmological forces into the maw so he can trap them there? Right now, I don't think any of them would want to go into the maw. Like, I don't think they would follow him in. And I do think that they can turn the maw into something normal again. It would be up to how the maw became inescapable in the first place. But yeah, I just think if by now, like, can I just ask chat? Who of you still don't understand what Sylvanas wants to do, even after all this time? I will not judge. I just want to know. It's more about the light, about the temporal forces, if you will. Raise my hand just for a troll. Can't escape them all unless you have the blood of the first one. Sounds sinister for me. With her, she wants to break the cycle. She wants to end our slavery. Understand what she thinks she's trying to do? And I'm personally all for it, just FYI. How does her plan make it fair for the living? Dragonfire, what do you mean? I mean, how does it make it fair for the living? It makes it fair by giving us freedom. Right? Giving us the freedom to decide what we want to do and how we want to do it. Ensuring that we don't have to bend to the will of these cosmological forces. I did actually cheer for Sauron in Lord of the Rings. I did actually cheer for Sauron. I like evil characters. I've said this before, right? And as the Jada, I like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Carl Sagan explaining them all black holes to us. I mean, it is possible.